Startschlusslippe in 2 Minuten. 2 Minuten.
Sachs Corner, Martino und Portago
und dann reichen Ziel. Simidele Adiakko, Kelly van Vetteken, Adele Nicole, Cassie is 3. First 3 today. Simidele Adiakko, Kelly van Vetteken, and Adele Nicole. Start first heat in 5 minutes.
Welcome to Moritz in Switzerland, where we are getting ready for the second Monobob race of the weekend, after making up for a missing race a fortnight ago when we were last here yesterday morning. It's another early start for our women's Monobob competitors. 25 sleds from 14 different nations take on the oldest and most historic track in the business. 1,700 metres of hand-formed gorgeousness fastness that plunges down the valley from Samoritz to the nearby village of Sellerina. So the start is relatively flat and relatively short, very tempting to run it out of the guidelines down into kink 1, but that means you often end up meandering down this straight, perhaps pinballing wall to wall and down into kink 2. Still very flat, barely building any speed here. You can hear the wind rush just start now as you come through wall corner. Sort of 3-ish little pressures and into snake 1 and snake 2. Down towards Sunny, starting to build momentum now. 180-degree corner that leads you into Nash and Dixon, named after the British duo that won gold in 1964 for the Samoritz Bob Club. Out of the signature corner, Horseshoe, slingshotting through Telephone and Shamrock, the left-hander at Devil's Dyke, and then Nameless, and the fast 4 right-handers, Tree, Bridge, under the bridge, Leap, and then the Gunter Sachs curve, the short straight down into Martineau, named after Hubert Martineau, the first president of the Bob Club, over the Cresta Run and through Portago, named after Fon Portago, the Portuguese playboy, millionaire sportsman who lost his life in the Mille Miglia in a racing car. Well, there is the view outside of the Dracula Club and the Gunter Sachs Lodge. And just a little up the hill, past the sleds, is the parking garage. And that is now where the athletes warm up. Just saw Alana Myers-Taylor, yesterday's race winner. Her first World Cup gold medal, in fact, since giving birth to her second son, Noah. And also her first Monobob win. Keisha Love had a good day yesterday as well, finishing in the bronze medal position behind Brianna Walker. And Kaylee Humphries also finding her form once more down this track. Well, this will be a little bit like a World Championships with 2 heats yesterday and 2 today. They'll go in an entirely different order, though. First off will be the sled who was last off yesterday, Nigeria's Simi Adiagbo. Kelly Van Petegem, Adele Nicol get the unfortunate early start draw. Any other artificial track that's great ice, here the track will get quicker as the run progresses, and so perversely going off late, like Popescu, Ribby and Hasselvanta, is probably more of an advantage. Sandra Kiriasis, the coach, leaves Simi Adiagbo of Nigeria at the line to start World Cup number 6 of the IBSF Monobob season. Her second in the World Cup, making her debut yesterday. The 43-year-old former skeleton athlete, she competed in the 2018 Winter Olympics for Nigeria in skeleton, making her World Cup debut yesterday. Last off then, first off today, and a 5.2 second start, beg your pardon, 6.15 second start. Now, not a start record this morning because we did race on the track yesterday. So any records now will be as compared to yesterday's first race. Into snake 1 and 2, trying to avoid that little tap on the left going down to Sunny corner. Comes out relatively straight. Simi's quite a tall athlete, which doesn't hurt in these monobobs. It means you can sit far back and lean back, get the weight over the back axle. Nice line in Horseshoe, past the minibus there. Oh, little tap going into Devil's Dyke. So she's offline there and gets it back in Nameless. Out of Tree. Through Bridge, little skid to Leap, got to keep it straight out of Gunter Sachs here. No, she gets a tap on the wall on the exit. It's not a bad looking run. Where's she going to be across the line? 1:13.10. So that is the first sled down. And there is her coach, the familiar face of World and Olympic champion Sandra Kiriasis. What did Simi do in the first run yesterday? 1:12.86 when she was last out in the first heat yesterday. It was a mild evening, not particularly cold ice. See how she pinballs down the straight there, and looking around the cowl of the sled. Always good to get the weight as low down as possible and as far back as possible. So first sled down of 25, only the fastest 20 make the race, and the first 3, it's always jeopardy because of the nature of the track speeding up later in the run. Kelly van Petegem, 14th yesterday, her 9th World Cup start in Monobob. Previous best here was 16th place last season. 5:97 getaway. And again, possibly a little unfair to compare yesterday with today, but we always do anyway, don't we? The track's always different. Nice quiet run so far. She started 5:98 yesterday, 5:97 this morning, so the start is right about where you'd expect. Nice looking run out of Nash and Dixon, but again she catches that little bit of wall that's sticking out. The corners tend to be very smooth, but the vertical walls less so. She's had contact with that wall before. Takes speed out of the sled. She's still in the green all the way down, 1800s quicker than Simi Adiagbo right at the start. She's going to be getting on for a second faster. Not great out of Martineau to Portago, but a 1:11.95. So she comes into the station as our current leader. 1:11.76 yesterday, coming later in the run, much later in the run. She was 18th, not second, but didn't have so much of a drama going down to Horseshoe. Nice late height, watch the runner tips. Just rolling it off gently, just a gentle steer there and releasing it immediately down into telephone. Not having to haul it off. Well, away quickly is Great Britain's Adele Nicol. Let's see what she's got at the start this morning. 5:97, so tied with Kelly van Petegem. Missed out on yesterday's race by 0.05 of a second. Adele going off 22nd. This is her 10th Monobob World Cup start. Unfortunately, had to miss a couple of races after one of the runners ran over her foot in a push start in the women's bob about a month back. Into the green, narrowly over Kelly van Petegem. And to make the race, you'll have to have 5 sleds at least behind you. Of course, only 2 have gone down in front of Adele. So she needs this one to be better than at least these 2 and another 3. Decent speed in the forest, 1:10.3. And it's a relatively quiet looking run. Doesn't have quite the same speed as Kelly van Petegem. Into Martineau, ramps it up Portago, 1:11.80. Our best result on this track has been a 10th place finish. He's getting on the brakes just a little early there. Digging in, former brakewoman, so that back handle technique that she learned pushing for Misha McNeil still works in Monobob. In tomorrow's women's bobsleigh race, she'll be pushing from the front handle. Sled up and out of the way as we get to our top 10 sliders now. They go into a random draw. So Brianna Walker, yesterday's silver medalist, bronze medalist last year. She had a great day yesterday, pair of really impressive runs. And Pierre Luders in the black jacket behind her coach, just absolutely beaming.
Go! Come on, go, go, go!
He heads off into the little shelter to watch the run on the video. And Brianna Walker down into kink 1, 5.79. Decent start. And you can see with 5.97 how far Adele Nichols still has to come after that injury. Well, Bree went off in 9th yesterday. Started with a 5.81, so 5.79. Quicker again. And she was right in the mix from the beginning. Little tap there, though. From Sunny to Nash and Dixon. Gets the tag on the wall as well. Not ideal. Nice through Telephone and Shamrock. Slaps Devil's Dyke, so late out of Shamrock. Out of Nameless into Tree. Second best speed in bridge. Del Nickel was quicker. Top speed at the bottom, Kelly Van Pettigem. And Bree is substantially in front. 1:11.30. A couple too many errors creeping in there to be the first heat leader, you suspect. Shakes her head. Little errors. Sled running on further, I think, than she was expecting, maybe. She was late in a couple of places and gets that bit of wall sticking out that a number of them have hit out of Dixon. Late out of Shamrock, slaps the wall going into Devil's Dyke. Next up for Switzerland, Mel Hasler. 12th equal after the first heat. Pulled herself up to 8th place by the finish yesterday. But her best result here in Monobob, 5th position last season. Silver medalist the Monobob in La Plan last year behind Keisha Love. 5.83 getaway, so just 400s behind Brianna Walker. First heat wasn't a great one yesterday for Mel. Nice smooth run down to wall. And then down into the snake curves. Clean to Sunny. A 10th behind. Still in the red at Horseshoe, and she too clattered down to Horseshoe and clumped her way into Telephone. Not the tidiest of runs, quarter of a second back, and the lowest speed we've seen so far. Mel Hasler, 4th best speed and across the line, 4100s back. Peter Ramseidel, the coach, looking about as perplexed by that as Mel looks unhappy. Another disappointing first run for Mel Hasler. Annoyed with herself, too many mistakes. Well, the start was decent enough, 5.83, but too many errors everywhere. I mean, late out of Nash and Dixon. Not at all happy. Next up then, with Brianna Walker, our current leader, is yesterday's race winner, Alana Myers-Taylor. Now, Alana in her 14th Monobob World Cup. Missed an entire season on maternity leave. Yesterday, her first Monobob win, also her 20th World Cup win as a driver. 5.86 getaway. So 700 slower than Brianna Walker. And that is the deficit at the moment. Well, there's something in this track that works really well for Alana Myers-Taylor. smooth, long, open corners. It flows beautifully. It just really works for her. Still in the red. Now she goes into the green, best speed of all as she comes through leap. Down towards Martineau and Portago, 131.4. Top speed for Alana Myers-Taylor. She'll have the lead by 22 hundredths. Coach is having a good time with the American athletes in the leaders box at the moment. Alana Myers-Taylor was our first heat leader yesterday. That is another nice looking run.
20 seconds.
And now starts getting stronger and stronger. 1:11.20 yesterday was her first heat, and it was a new track record. And 1:11.08. Well, they beat those speeds in the second heat. Some things to fix. 1:10.32 is the current track record. Cynthia Appiah next up. 10th yesterday, her second 10th place finish in a row. The season is starting to come together for Cynthia, but all three Canadian sleds seem to be losing in the speed race down at the bottom of the track. 5.75 is the start. Good getaway, 5.71, the new start record set by Lisa Bookvitz. 1600s up on Alana Myers-Taylor. Now, if the drive lines look good and you're not hitting lots of stuff and your speed is still sagging, then it tends to be an equipment issue. Now, given that the Canadians are running customer BTC sleds, then when you don't have the top speed, it tends to be that the runner choice doesn't quite match what the track is asking for. 1500s back, second best speed though, which is encouraging. So we're going from sort of second, third best speed above Horseshoe to 10th best speed yesterday. Third best speed at the moment. How far behind is she going to be?
11:44.
Third place, 1:11.44. So Alana Myers-Taylor, the leader from Brianna Walker, and Cynthia Appiah in third place. Nice lines out of Horseshoe. She's looking happier with herself after that run as well, and that's always good news. Next up is Kaylee Humphries, World and Olympic champion in women's bobsleigh and Olympic monobob champion. And after taking last year out for the birth of her son, back here and starting to find that start line performance again. 7th place yesterday, equaling her best result of the season, and again she loses out a little in the power stakes at the start. She loses nothing in terms of experience and driving ability. Kaylee in, I think, something like her 15th World Cup start here as a driver. Also raced here as a brakewoman in the World Cup back in her early days. Nice looking lines all the way. Listen, nice and quiet. No taps, no hits, no skids. 2100s back, but the second best speed. And every metre of ice gives her more of a chance to unwind that start deficit. And every day in the summer, in the gym and on the track, is going to unwind that start deficit as well. Best speed of all from the golden hands of Kaylee Humphries. Third at the line, 1:11.41. 300s ahead of Cynthia Appia. Little bob of the head, so-so when she saw the three fingers. The drivers always say they know when it feels good. They know when they've had a good run. Just a tiny little meander there, but taking much less out of the sled. Done a hit on the wall. Not a huge height in horseshoe. Nice late rotation though, and just rolls the sled off like she's done, I mean, I don't know how many times. 60, 70, 80, 100 times. Who knows, maybe more. Next up, Germany's Lisa Buchwitz, the World Cup points leader. Silver, gold, 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 and yesterday, 4th place. First time off the podium in a while. She's had 13 medals in her previous 20 Monobob World Cup races. Last time she was not on the podium, and this might not bode well for the World Championships for her, was in Lake Placid. Well, 2/10 up at the start. And again, the sound gives you so much, or little skid out of Sunny. And the tap as well. Oh, tags the wall coming down to horseshoe. A 10th up. It's a good run, as so often from Lisa Buchwitz. Dropping out of the lead though, only the 9th best speed. Have they made the wrong choice on runners again? This is reflecting what happened with the Canadians yesterday. Good lines, keeping that momentum going, but the speed gradually sagging. Wow, 6/10 back. Not sure that Lisa is going to be in the medals today. She's going to need a much better second heat. Now, she almost rolled it out of horseshoe yesterday, crashed effectively in heat 1, not great in heat 2, much later height. And again, drives it off hard into the wall because she knew that the option was to fall off. She's getting into horseshoe too late, and the height is too late.
Hallo, schön.
Keine Ahnung, she was saying there to the guys at the bottom, no clue. So next up, Kim Kalicki of Germany. Kim finished in 6th place in yesterday's race. 2 4th places to start the season, and then a pair of 8th place finishes. She was 6th last season, 6th yesterday. Now, she is one of the German drivers who is struggling with a kind of coldy fluiness at the moment. She really looked quite unwell, especially after yesterday's first run. And when you've had, you know, from your own experience, when you've had a cold, first thing in the morning and last thing in the evening are where you feel absolutely the ropiest. Then try sprinting at 1,800 meters of altitude with a congested head and a congested chest. And these athletes cannot take the same amount of pharmaceuticals that we can to make us feel less rotten. Not great height either in horseshoe. Germans not using the height in horseshoe to their advantage. 200s in the lead. This is nip and tuck with Alana Myers-Taylor. Kalicki not the fastest starter, but started exactly the same time, 5:86 as Alana. So this is a real like-for-like comparison. Speed down the bottom, 3rd best. Kaylee was fastest of all at the bottom, and across the line, 1:11.24. So they're starting to rack up. 1,600s behind Alana. Brianna Walker is 3rd, 2,200s back. Kaylee Humphries 4th, 3,300s back, ahead of Cynthia Appia, 3,600s back. So we've got 2 little tight battles already starting to form. Good load from Kim Kalicki, but again, like Kaylee Humphries, just that little meander down towards horseshoe. They need more height in horseshoe. Alana Myers-Taylor, the leader after our first 10 sleds of 25. Race 6, IBSF Monobob World Cup. 10 sleds down, 15 to go. Keisha Love for the USA up next. First bronze medal of her monobob career earned yesterday. She was still breaking here in the World Championships in 2023. The 22-23 season, she was still a World Cup brakeman. Took a bronze medal in the World Championships with Kaylee Humphries here 2 years ago. Raced in the Worlds in Winterberg last year as a driver. And her speed of conversion has been mighty impressive. 5.77 getaway certainly does not hurt, but it's not all about the start. She drives well too. Nice exit out of Horseshoe, again using the height. Best speed in the forest. Telephone, Shamrock, Devil's Dyke, nicely done. Smoothly onto Nameless. Tree to bridge, nice. Great looking run. This is going to be very close with Alana for the lead. Only the fourth best speed in the bottom, doing a fraction more steering than Lana Myers-Taylor. She will be second, 200 ahead of Kim Kalicki. Really good looking run from Keisha Love. Two gold medals, two silver medals, and now a bronze medal after yesterday in her career so far. This is her 14th monobob race.
10 seconds.
Her first win came in La Plagne, France, at the beginning of last season. Just nice lines all the way down. She is right in the mix. The other slider on that podium in La Plagne was Andrea Grecu, a podium full of first-time medalists, with Mel Hasler taking silver behind Keisha Love. Little slip on the block. She resets. There is time to do that. No need to panic. Lopes away. One of the taller drivers in the field, Andrea. Disappointed yesterday. Only 22nd in the first heat. Did not get a second run. First time ever out of the top 10 in the monobob in 18 races yesterday. Never mind missing the cut. She's had 10 top 6 finishes, so 1 in 3 of her monobob starts has resulted in finishing on the wider podium. 300s back off a 5.77 start, so she's tying Keisha Love at the start still. Not great height, but a smooth exit into telephone. But you need to dive down from that height. You know, that extra metre of altitude gives you that extra fraction more speed. Speed's going away rapidly, only 11th fastest. She is the 11th sled. This is the slowest speed, or the lowest 12th sled. It's the lowest speed we've seen. This is not good for Andrea Grecu, 1:11.95. So Grecu 10th out of 12 sleds. She is ahead of Simi Adiagbo. She is not ahead of Kelly van Petegem or Adele Nicol. She might miss the second heat again. There's that little slip off the block. That's a polycarbonate block there. Used to be wood in the old days, but they didn't take sponsors' logos so well, and they dug up quite quickly. Lauren Alter really struggling with illness yesterday. Looked like she was about to puke at the end of the first heat. And if you're feeling that bad, how good can it be when you're trying to drive? 5.76, just 100th inside the start of Keisha Love. And it's a great start from Lauren Alter. If she's feeling any better, that has got to be good news for her. 2100s up at Sunny. Lara Nolte is back in the frame. Fastest start so far. Still 1600s up on yesterday's race winner Alana Myers-Taylor. Nolte finished 9th yesterday. A very unrepresentative run. 5th best speed, not great. Not using huge height to build that velocity low down the track. How close to second? 1300 in, 1:11.21. 100th in front of Keisha Love. Well, that is impressive from Lara Nolte, considering how wretched she looked yesterday. I mean, the moment she got out of the sled, she was in a jacket and heading back to bed. Little tap out of Sunny down to Nash and Dixon. And again, just a little late exit there, skid off Shamrock into Devil's Dyke. And she's got a race again tomorrow as well. She's not looking at all well. And that's a mighty effort from Lara Nolte. Next up, yesterday's 5th place finisher, Deborah Annan, the reigning Monobob Junior World Champion. Best World Cup race, 4th place finish this season. She had a 5th yesterday. She was so close to the medals. Just got overhauled in the second heat. 5:89 the start. So the long, rangy former handball player, she will get faster, there's no question. But she really drives nicely. Little tap down to Sunny. But look how close she is to lead. She was 300s behind Alana at the start, still just 800s behind. Nice line out of Horseshoe. Little slide off Shamrock into Devil's Dyke, but the best speed in the forest, 1:01.2. Excellent stuff from Deborah Annan, 1200ths of a second off the lead. 10th fastest start. She could be in the top 3 at the bottom. 3rd best speed, she's coming. Little tap, Martino to Portago is worth a few hundreds. 4th at the line. Mara Morel on the left-hand side there. She'll be in the sled tomorrow. Oh, it's close, isn't it? Alana Myers-Taylor leads by 1300s from Lara Nolte, 1400s back Keisha Love, 1500s back Deborah Annan, 1600s back Kim Kalicki. Talk about a knife fight for the medals. Look at the late height. And she rolls it off superbly into telephone. She knows exactly where she's going. She's a newcomer, but she's not driving this track like a newcomer. Cassie Beil of Austria finished in 12th place yesterday. Great little social video on the IBSF YouTube and Facebook of Wolfgang Stampfer. Cassie Beil, with a new Jamaican sprinter brakewoman, last weekend set a new Austrian start record in Innsbruck, and as a result of a slightly risky bet, Wolfgang Stampfer had to have his hair cut. Very good fun. Cassie Beil, though, 5:87 start, just 100 slower than Alana Myers-Taylor, and in an early lead. Little skiddy the back end of the sled again, as yesterday. Maybe that's just the way she likes it for speed. Nice height in Horseshoe, nice quiet exit. Little flop off Telephone, little flop off Shamrock, but it's like sliding 4 square off the corners. Any racing driver will tell you nowadays sideways is not forward and not as fast as it could be. Still a good looking run, 10th at the start. She's not going to be in the top 6, not in the top 3. Where is she at the line? 9th, 8th, 9th place, 1:11.53. Yes, Wolfie. Took it all in very good spirits, I have to say, the barbering, which was not done by Catty Bile, but by Great Britain's Adele Nicol. And it was a little more barbering than butchery. Good height, nice apex there, and rolls it smoothly down into telephone. Out of telephone and Shamrock though, both corners just like little 4-square drift over, gets a tap on the wall.
Stop. There is so much dirt, we turn now.
Ooh, okay. She looked a little tight there. Let's hope she's okay. Next up for Canada is Melissa Lotholtz. 15 down, 10 to go. And so our bottom 5, Book-Witz in 10th place, Melanie Hassler 11th, probably safe. Let's see. Lotholtz 5.78 getaway, very strong starting again from Mel. Lotholtz only her 6th Monobob World Cup race, North America's Cup champion. 15th in the first heat yesterday, and then slipped back in heat 2. Ended up in 17th place. Good top part of the track, and it was the same for her and Cynthia Appiah and Bianca Ribby yesterday. They looked strong up to Horseshoe, and then the speed wilted. And it's doing the same again. Only the 9th best speed, and she had 12 hundredths of a second of a lead at Sunny. 19 hundredths back. Speed is going away very fast on the Canadian sleds. Started 5th quickest. She's out to 9th, out to 10th on the splits. And 10th place at the line, 1:11.62. That puts her ahead of Lisa Book-Witz, and normally in a monobob, if you're ahead of Lisa Book-Witz, you're in the medals and arguably often on the top step of the podium. 10th place for Melissa Lotholtz, 8th for Cynthia Appiah. Decent height, not the highest, not a sort of German low line.
10 seconds.
And smoothly out of Shamrock onto Devil's Dyke. A little late maybe onto Devil's Dyke, but there's room to negotiate there. Next up for France, Margot Bock finished in a tie for 14th place in yesterday's race with Kelly van Petegem. Kelly currently, ironically, in a tie for 14th place with Andrea Grecu. Let's see what the French slider has got. 6:01 is the start. Nice and smooth on her way down. Started 6:03 in the first getaway yesterday morning at roughly the same stage of the field. In fact, exactly the same stage of the field. She was 17th out yesterday, 17th out today. 16th best start, 16th on the splits at the moment. And it's when she builds her speed further down that she will start to claw her way up the leading group. And listen to it, it's so quiet. No skids, no taps, no hits, and as a result, highest speed of all in the forest. 4th best velocity as she comes through the forest. 69 miles an hour down towards Martineau and Portago. 81.8 top speed for Margot Bock. 9th at the line, 1:11.52. Wow. Drives herself from 16th fastest start to 9th at the bottom. If she had the kind of power at the start that a Book-Witz has, there would be literally no holding her back. Bruno Mijon on the right-hand side in the red jacket. On the extreme left, Max Robert. The hairdryer treatment to help breeze her off the line. They know that starting is not her strong suit, but boy, driving sure is. Margot Bock in 9th place. Is there no end to the talent in the US team at the moment? There isn't. 4 women in the World Cup. Sylvia Hoffman, the 4th of them. 22 career monobob races. This is her 8th at World Cup level. 20th in the first heat yesterday, just clung on. 5:69, a new start record. She is loaded for bear this morning. She just clung on in the first heat yesterday, 20th fastest, and then drove her way up to 16th at the finish. She's been in the teams all season, apart from first outing here, where she was in 11th place. I beg your pardon, that was Innsbruck last week in 11th place. 15th here last time out, 2 weeks ago. And no, she wasn't, we didn't race here 2 weeks ago, so it was 16th yesterday. Innsbruck was 11th. 1600s in the lead, down to 1500s behind. Speed going away below the horseshoe. Yeah, a little bit in free fall, the position counter on the right-hand side. 15th, 14th, 14th of the line, 1:11.73. Oh, still really learning how to drive. She's only been driving for a season and a half. And it takes so long to build experience of these tracks. Again, just holding the nose up a little, sliding, skidding the tail around behind her. Again, little late there. Out of Shamrock into Devil's Dyke, takes a big hit, and that all just knocks the speed off the sled. One more to go here in St. Moritz before the women's bob tomorrow. Next up is Poland's Linda Wajaszewski, Junior World Championship bronze medalist here last season. 5th fastest in the first heat yesterday and slipped down to 13th place by the end. Start draw number 19 yesterday, start draw number 19 again today. 5.90, just 400ths off the lead. So only the 10th best velocity, but keeps tabs on Alana Myers-Taylor, and this is what she did in the first heat yesterday. Nice smooth lines. Sled seems to be moving a little at the back. Avoids the wall. Into horseshoe, good height. Little tap into telephone. Big hit onto Devil's Dyke. Speed's going away. It's not going to be a top 5 run today. And the frustration, of course, for the driver is not only not holding that top 5 in the first heat, but knowing that it's in there and not being able to reach that level again the next day. 13th of the line, 1:11.68. So just ahead of Mel Hasler of Switzerland by 300ths, 200ths behind Lisa Buchwitz in 12th. And Linda Wajaszewski finished in 13th place yesterday. And yesterday's race was actually her 2nd best ever World Cup result. She was 12th in Innsbruck last year. Nice height in horseshoe, nice late rotation. Just a little late off telephone and Shamrock, and that big hit on Devil's Dyke, taking lots of speed out. For China, Ying Qing. Ying in her 16th World Cup race. 8th place here last season, 18th yesterday. And her previous race here in 2023, the World Championship, she crashed out in the first heat. So she may not have the best memories of this track. 5:92 start. A couple of hundreds behind Linda Wyszewski, who we've just seen. Yingqing, our 20th sled. So when she completes this run, that will be the entire allocation of sleds for the second heat complete, but still 5 more to go. So she needs to be above Simiadi Agbo and at the tie for 17th, Andrea Grecu, Kelly van Petegem. If she can slip into 15th or 16th place, she will be safe. At the moment, she is not safe. 19th position. Ahead only of Nigeria's Simiadi Agbo. Yingqing may struggle to make the cut. 1:12.09. Well, yesterday she came down 1:11.93, so a 10th quicker. 10th quicker would not help her today. Down too early, out of horseshoe. Centrifugal force pushes her back up. Watch this. That's how you crash off horseshoe. Luckily didn't come down quite that early. So 20 in and 5 to go. And it is Alana Myers-Taylor, our first heat leader, ahead of a titanically tight top 6. Go fast or go home time now for Slovakia's Viktoria Černánska, Youth Olympic silver medalist here in 2020. 12th place here last season, 19th place yesterday, so she should have enough speed to get into the race. 6:13 is not the fastest getaway, but she drives well. Nice and smooth up to wall. Down into the snake curve, snake 1, snake 2. Quiet up to Sunny, no tap on the driver's left. Skids off Sunny into Nash and Dixon. Nice away from the wall, straight down to horseshoe, decent height. Quiet into telephone, into Shamrock, little tap into Devil's Dyke. Speed is very good, 7th best. She's the 21st sled out. Just in the top 20 at the moment, ahead of Simiadi Agbo of Nigeria. 19th place ahead of Yingqing, 9th best speed. Now she can jump up to 17th. Yes, she does, 1:11.90. So Simiadi Agbo is out of the second heat. And Yingqing of China is in the drop zone in 20th. And at the moment, Viktoria Černánska should probably be safe. No guarantees. Decent height, good exit. Smoothly onto telephone. And there's a 100th that might make the difference. So Viktoria Černánska is in for the moment. Next up is the Aussie Sarah Blizzard. Finished 24th place yesterday. She had the unfortunate start draw number 1, the one track where you do not want that. Nice load from the former brakewoman, 6.17 start. Well, off a 6:13, we've just seen Viktoria Černánska go into 17th place, so a good drive from Sarah could help her in that. 6:17, slowest start we've seen, but already driving herself ahead of Simiadi Agbo. Now she's got to get into the top 20, and again, ideally, up to 17th or 18th position. Middle height in horseshoe, nice clean exit though. Smoothly out of Shamrock onto Devil's Dyke. Speed is decent. 11th best speed. She's the 22nd sled. 10th best speed. She might have enough here. Of course, getting into the 20 now in 20th is still jeopardy. 16th best speed. Not sure if she's going to have enough even to crack the 20 now. 21st at the line, 1:12.15. So no second heat for her. She'll be racing in the women's bob tomorrow morning. Go again. Got on to Martineau, didn't allow the sled to rise, held it down, and then it got pushed up again. Late exit from Martineau, clatters into Portago. It'll come. Nobody is a race winner overnight. Georgeta Popescu has been a race winner here, Youth Olympic champion in 2020. Made the cut last season and in the World Championships in 2023. 25th place yesterday. Really disappointing run for the young Romanian. She and Victoria Cernanska, gold and silver in the Youth Olympics. Still just 22, the pair of them. So loads of potential sliding in front of them. I mean, if they keep going as long and as successfully as Kay Humphries and Alana Myers-Taylor, then they could still be sliding into wherever the Olympics is in 2038. Who knows? That might be quite a while ahead of us yet. 6800's back. 21st at the start with a 6:14 getaway. Again, medium height and a tap into telephone, skids into Shamrock, late off Shamrock, rattles Devil's Dyke. Not at all on the lines that she needs. Flops out of leap. Disappointing bottom part of the run for Georgeta Popescu. She looked like she might have had the chance to make it in. 23rd at the moment. That is the tail of the field. Looks like it might be another 25th place finish. She's just not driving the track all that well. The top half wasn't bad, but below Horseshoe, every mistake in the book. Late there out of Shamrock, wallops Devil's Dyke, sled skidding all over the place, and again, bridge leap, just not got control of the sled. 2 to go, and Bianca Ribby now trying to make the race ahead of Yingqing of China. Ribby finished 11th yesterday, 15th last season. She was 9th in the first heat yesterday and slipped a couple of spots in heat 2 as the track sped up. 5:92 getaway. 15th fastest start, 16th on the splits. Down through Snake and Sunny Corner. 1200's back. I mean, the margins are tiny at the moment. Just keeps it off the wall. Good height in Horseshoe. Looked like a nice exit as well. Oh, gets telephone Shamrock all wrong. Hits Devil's Dyke as well. And that is going to rob her of precious speed. Yeah, plummets from 16th to 20th, 22nd in the speed traps. This is not going to be enough, I don't think, for Bianca Ribby. She is not going to make the second heat. Top 10 first heat yesterday, 21st first heat today. Neville Wright on the left, looking as perplexed as the coach. Yikes. Good height in horseshoe. Brings it down. Hits telephone on the way in.
10 Sekunden.
And that ricochets her across the track. Bianca Ribby is out. Yingqing clings on. 1 to go. It is Yingqing of China in her 16th World Cup, or Lea Hasselwanter of Austria in her 5th World Cup. Raced here last season in Europe Cup and the Junior Worlds. Finished in 20th place yesterday. Her World Cup best result, 15th place in Innsbruck on her debut last season. 5.96, 18th fastest start. So her start is enough to get her into the race to begin with. She's got to cling on there. Ooh, a little on the left coming into Sunny. She kind of looped quite high in Snake 1 and 2. Needs control out of Nash, and Dixon has it. Good height. Smoothly into telephone. Nicely through Shamrock, hits hard in Devil's Dyke though. 17th best speed, she's drifting out of the race. 19th best speed, not enough for Lea Hasselwanter. She made the cut yesterday. She's not going to make the cut today. 20th best speed, not enough acceleration. Across the line in 23rd, 1:12.26. Well, she made the heat yesterday, starting 24th, does not make it today, starting 25th. Frustrating. She knows she's got the ability to make the race. Sometimes it doesn't come out. Looping high there, and the tap nudges her away from Shamrock to Devil's Dyke. Again here, bridge to leap, long skid. And the frustration, she knows she's out. Oh well, there we go. She'll be back tomorrow in the women's bobsleigh. So at the top of the pile, yesterday's first-time race winner. How strange is that to say about Alana Myers-Taylor? She's been winning for so long. But yesterday was her first gold medal in Monobob. And she's in a class of 1. It's not separated by that much from everybody else, though. She better hope that the track holds up. So Alana leads by 13, and they're effectively behind. It's a dead heat. Nolta, Love, Annan and Kalicki. 4 sleds covered by 300s. Brianna Walker's not out of the medals. Kaylee Humphreys might not be out of the medals either. Cynthia Appiah in 8th, ahead of Margot Bock, and rounding out the top 10, Katie Bile. Then Melissa Lottholtz ahead of Lisa Bukwitz and Linda Wyszewski. Mel Hasler, Silva Hoffman, Adele Nickel, Victoria Chanatska, a tie for 18th, Kelly van Pettigem and Andrea Grecu, and 20th Yingqing makes it in. Bianca Ribby, Sarah Blizzard, Lea Hasselwanter, Simi Adiagbo and Georgetta Popescu do not. They will be watching the second heat from trackside, and you can join them. We'll be on air at 10:30 CET, 09:30 GMT, 04:30 Eastern, and that is in 30 minutes from now. Until then, auf Wiedersehen.
Something.